everybody, welcome back. We're going to do what we did with the first set. I'm just going to play a tune from the new record, and then I'm going to invite our second guest up for the great room. This is called Bellevue Bridge Club.
And I will hold you hostage, make you part of my conspiracy. You will be witness to carnage. You know there's no you without me. I'm gonna shake you till it wakes you from your waking dreams. Show you affecting scenes of life beyond your front door. I will exploit you and conscript you. My narrative scheme, show you distressing scenes. I'm gonna drag you from your bedroom to your floor by any means necessary. By any means necessary. By any means necessary. I'm gonna dig up what you bury, Lord, by any means necessary. There you go again, finding brilliant ways to make things harder, always smarter, alone, or in this endless Stockholm syndrome. Here's what is known: we're gonna break this two-way mirror. I'm gonna shake you, break you by any means necessary. By any means necessary. By any means. Oh no, yeah. Till someday. Oh, some sweet day we will be playing bridge on the Psych Ward with Barbara, Jean, and Sue. We will be playing bridge on the Psych Ward with Arthur, Jean, and Lou. Oh, and if you ever start to get bored, you know there's no one to blame but you. And I will hold you hostage, make you part of my conspiracy. You will be witness to carnage. You know there's no me without you.
All right, it's my great pleasure to bring up a fairly new artist from the UK. Her name is Yola. Hey.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for coming.
Oh, well, I believe we're going to sing a couple of mine and a couple of yours, huh?
That's right. The usual great room format, and then a kind of a wild card cover
Yes.
at the end.
Yeah, well, we only met recently, huh?
We met
Just
but a few hours ago, yes.
That was it.
Yeah.
So this is a very new, but it's already welcome, and I'm enjoying myself.
But I heard this song we're about to do on the radio in L.A. just a week ago, and it knocked me out. It was so good. And this is your debut record?
Yes, it is.
That's frightening. I mean, it's so...
Mama! Yeah, like I've kind of taken some behind-the-scenes roles as like a top-line writer, kind of being lyrics and Melody Smith for a little while, fronting other such things,
Yes.
a little brief kind of...
So you didn't just emerge fully formed? Like
Not from the womb, no.
No. No. That'd be something.
It's going to be like this.
Yeah. It's all right. I hope so. All right. Let's do this first song on your record is called Faraway. Look.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Well, let's get into it.
All right.
Oh, I might stand up for this one. I feel like it.
Yeah, do it. You want to count it off?
Okay. You lit the candles on the cake and threw the match down on the floor. Wish I knew what you were wishing for. Handing out the paper plate to all your friends that you adore. Are you haunted and wanting more? That far away look in your eyes. It's getting harder to disguise. Nobody moves the way you do, walking round the grocery store. Only you know what you're looking for. And when your working day is through, you walk the darkness to your bed to dream the dreams that live inside your head. That far away look in your eyes. It's getting harder to disguise. That far away look in your eyes. It's getting harder to
Damn. Whew. What an instrument you have. It's something else.
It takes a lot of fine-tuning.
Does it? Really?
Yeah, so I turned into a bit of a vocal nerd, realizing that my instrument is heavily affected by whatever chemicals are coursing around my body. Not ones that I ingest necessarily, but ones that are released by my own brain, depending on my environment. And so if I get really adrenalized, my muscles lock down more than most. Mm-hmm. If I'm around loads of douchebags...
Right.
It gets really serious. Like, I can lose a third in range just on douche quality.
Wow. Well...
So good company is really valued, so thank you so much for having me.
Yeah.
Range. My voice is good.
There's apparently no douchebags in the room at the moment. So you sound amazing. I feel that too. That there's nothing more susceptible to your psychology than your voice.
Yes.
You know. And I forget what I was going to say. I'll think about it again.
Yeah, no, it's a big issue. I actually lost my voice for a year and a half.
Mm.
I couldn't speak for 2 months.
Oh, I remember what I was going to say. You ever find that when you're talking to someone who just isn't listening to you, you go hoarse?
Yeah.
Yeah. Were you doing an interview with someone who really doesn't get it? You're you know.
Just a choke up.
It's like maybe it's a protective thing. Maybe your body's shutting down because you don't need to use it on this situation.
Yeah, your body's telling you to walk away.
Because you are full on in the trenches. I was there maybe 10 years ago, but you're doing like multiple shows a day.
Yeah.
And
some of them are just one song, so it's not too crazy. But there are officially 16 appearances happening this South by Southwest.
Yeah.
So the trenches, you're right.
Yeah. Well, I thought of doing this song with you because it's your record has a distinctly it's been described as country soul, and I think that's apt.
Yes, and some other things. Yeah.
And where do you think of as being the hub of that? I think Memphis.
Yes.
But, yeah.
I think the conversation between Memphis and Nashville, like that interstate running up and down, has got a lot to answer for, actually, I think.
Yeah. They're not far away from each other.
They really aren't. And it explains why sonically they're so close, you know.
Yeah. But, all the session musicians were, there were country musicians playing on soul records, thus the hybrid country soul. I just think of, like, who is it on the... Booker T, is it Steve Cropper, the guitarist?
It is Steve Cropper, yes.
So that kind of wiry guitar, but it's like super bluesy.
Yeah, and then Donald Duck Dunn is like laying it down fat and nasty. Yeah. He's like the groovy guy. And you got Al Jackson. He was all tasty as heck, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. So this song of mine from the new record is in that vein, I think. At least I think so. And it's called Manifest.
I've been loving
I'm coming to the edge of the widest canyon, my companions dear. I'm starting to question my manifest destiny, my claim to this frontier. I'm coming to the brink of a great disaster, and just has to be near. The earth spins faster, whistles right past you, whispers death in your ear. Don't pretend you can't hear. Don't pretend you can. I can hear your tender roasting everything that's walked this earth once living, than to be exhumed and burnt to vapors. Can we save her? Now she's in the air, radical and free. Neither here nor there, she's obliged to no one, obliged to no one, oh no. Well, I'm coming to the edge of a rising ocean, such commotion, fear, keeping all our eyes on what's on the horizon, all that we hold dear. I'm coming to the brink of a great disaster, and just has to be near. The earth spins faster, whistles right past you, whispers death in your ear. Don't pretend you can't hear, don't pretend you can. I can hear you tender, oh, still digging for everything that's walked this earth once living, then to be exhumed and burned to vapor. Can we save her? Now she's in the air, radical and free. Not a goddamn care. She's obliged to no one, obliged to no one. Yeah, no. Don't pretend you can't hear, don't pretend you can't hear.
Thank you for learning my song. I always find it so endearing when people spend time to learn my songs. That's so nice.
I had to do a little bit of cheating, but I wanted to look into the phrasing a little. It's fun.
Yeah. So you're from Bristol?
Yeah, Bristol, UK.
Just a charming little hamlet down there.
It's incidentally where Blackbeard was born.
Is that right?
Yeah.
It's still a ways from the sea, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's a port town, so
it's a port
you have to
town,
really
but
commit to that pirating.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Is that why you moved there? Was Blackbeard? Is that?
Yeah, that was the motivation. Yes. No, seriously. I grew up in a small seaside town just outside of Bristol.
Oh, okay.
Not a lot going on apart from music.
Right.
Yeah. And so called Portishead. So after the band.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Cool. it was called Portishead after the band, as in like
Yeah.
they named the town after Portishead?
Yeah, they did. They thought, what a great band.
Yeah.
That's double controversial because I spent a bit of time in Massive Attack, so competition.
I could see that.
Competition.
Yeah. So you were kind of guesting on things like that. You were like the guest.
Yeah. There's a lot
powerhouse.
of that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of roll in the screamer, give it the old, oh, and then roll her off again.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you know, that kind of stuff really gets things going, you know?
I know, right?
So you were like the live sample.
Yeah, the kind of live sample.
Yeah.
NPC only in human form.
Right. So you made this record with Dan Auerbach in Nashville. Mm-hmm. And the production is beautiful. And but one notable thing about it is your dynamics and your singing.
Okay.
Which I find, you know, it seems like R&B got just, it went to 11 at some point. It just sort of stayed there. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's just full-on gospel chops all the time. And it's nice to hear like this, the way you set up Faraway Look.
Yes.
And how restrained that is. It's like, actually, I was talking to T-Bone about it. His big thing as a producer is like, don't give up the goat.
No. Like, you don't want to give everyone 100% all the time.
Yeah.
One, that's exhausting. And two, it's like if you can, it's really selling yourself short, you know?
Yeah.
I think we've got used to this kind of singer that has one pressure, one tonality singer, and maybe they have like a soft head voice, and then they're back into their body, and it's just two tones. And I'm not that person. I've got this kind of range, and I want to be able to explore that. And I think that was kind of one of the aims on the recording side, outside of writing, was to be able to explore that full range. So although you might have seen me giving it the old, that waggy finger of kind of standard soul business, that's not what I was all about.
But that comes out more live.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a different thing live. And
you're
feeling the room, you're feeling the people, and
yeah, you try and react to the room.
On records, you want to listen to a song many, many times.
Yeah.
And if it's going full throttle the whole time, it's hard to digest.
Exactly.
You know? But it's cool to hear that realized on a record. And the lyrics are really, there's a wink in them. There's there's some humor in there. I don't know exactly what's going on in Faraway Look, but there seems to be like this passing out of paper plates. There's lighting candles. There's these sort of mundane, the grocery store.
Yes.
The mundane tasks, but this like the chorus lifts it to these great heights, but then you're back in the grocery store.
Yes.
I like that. I like that contrast.
Yeah, it's working class melodrama might be the genre.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like I spent a lot of my time kind of on and off benefits and a little time homeless, and like it wasn't really necessarily. Sometimes I was like touring with Massive Attack, and then I had a little band back at home that started to do some things, but we were still doing like pub gigs. So I'd go and do like Glastonbury in front of about 60,000 people live on television, and then I'd go and play a pub in Frome, kind of like I don't know if I've ever been to England, but you know, it's not massive. It's a village, you know. Yeah. It might be a town status. I might be dissing it by now. But like, it was that kind of top peak and trough. And so, I was bringing a little bit of that kind of the irony of fabulosity and seriously not fabulosity into a song.
Yeah. Well, that serves you, I think, in overall, like the keeping it real, grounded.
I try.
Yeah. Let's do another one of your tunes.
All right.
This is called Shady Grove.
Mm-hmm.
1, 2, 3, 4.
I live little shady grove, a memory long ago, a tale too old to know the ending. I left a fortune there, a wealth beyond compare, a love so true and rare. I spent it, I gave it all away, all away. It takes my breath away. A little shady grove, a memory long ago, a tale too old to know the ending. I gave it all away, all away. It takes my breath away. A little shady grove, a memories long ago, a tale too old to know the ending.
Let me take this opportunity to introduce the band we have for this. This is Alan Hampton on the bass and guitar. Charley Wiles on the guitar. And just fresh off the boat, Abe Rounds. He got here at the last minute. So Charley belongs to Yola, and these guys belong to me, to my band. And we've merged the two. But yeah, I wasn't sure how putting together musicians that have never played these songs and never met before live on the air would go. But it's going pretty well, I think. So when I heard, when I knew you were going to do this, I immediately thought, William Bell. William Bell is my favorite, performers. And there's a tune of his called "I Forgot to Be Your Lover," which I figured you would be familiar with.
Yeah, like
Were you?
it's definitely like that the intro has been sampled to within an inch of its life.
Yeah.
So like when I was a kid, my first introduction to it was actually through its sample form, and then I kind of knew about it the second way, later in my childhood. My entire childhood is plotted by records and like revelations of genres, kind of more than anything else.
That's cool. I've always wanted to do this song, but I could never choose between the string part and the vocal part. Like, I want to sing it, but then I'd have to give up the string arrangement, because the song is just a masterclass in arranging. It's so well done. It's not verse, chorus, verse. I can't tell what it is, honestly.
I've got no idea.
But it works so well because of the strings and that intro is just gorgeous. So I'm so glad you agreed to learn it and do it. We're going to do it now for you. So this is "I Forgot to Be Your Lover" by William Bell. You just go
Have I told you lately that I love you. Well, if I didn't, darling, I'm sorry. Did I reach out and hold you in my loving arms? Oh, when you needed me. And now I realize that I need love too, and I spend my life making love to you. Oh, I forgot to be your lover. And I'm sorry, I'm so sorry. Have I taken the time to share with you all the burdens that love will bear? And have I done those little simple things to show you just how much I care? Oh, I've been working for you, doing all I can. To work all the time didn't make me a man. Oh, I forgot to be your lover. And I'm sorry, I'll make it up to you somehow. I forgot to be your lover. I'm gonna make it up to you somehow. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, baby. I forgot to be your lover. I forgot to be your lover. I forgot to be your lover.
So good. I like a lot of the William Bell hits, like that one, and the Private Number is another one.
Oh, yes.
They're kind of post-conflict songs, you know what I mean? Like they're in a strange category where the bad stuff's behind them. Or in this case, this is an apology song, of course.
Oh, yeah.
But they're working it out. And Private Number is another fascinating song. There's one line where he says, "Nothing's wrong." It's like, how many songs are like, it's all, usually songs are all about struggle and conflict, and he's just like, no, there was just a confusion. Here's my private number. Everything's fine.
Oh, that's kind of like my whole debut album. It's like it's a retrospective kind of breakup record from too many years ago. And like that whole process of talking about something with that much hindsight or putting something behind you is sentiment that I can really reflect on well. And so when you're like, let's do this song, I was like, this is bang on for me.
Yeah. And Shady Grove is all kind of this wistful, it's past tense. It's looking back.
It is. It's kind of about my 20s. Like in your 20s when you end up
Which are in your past? It's hard to believe.
There's a memo that went out that says it doesn't crack.
Oh, okay. I see. I got you.
My mum got her first wrinkle at like 65, so I'm good,
It doesn't crack.
I'm always sardonic, sorry.
Okay. I appreciate it.
No, like, in your 20s, and like, it's just dawning on you that you might have some self-worth, but it doesn't quite dawn on you until you're kind of exiting your 20s. And that's very much what happened to me. I kind of got to that point of like, maybe I shouldn't just frisbee my skills out to just my love and support and everything to just anybody. Maybe I should be a bit more selective, and, have the back of the back havers, And
well,
so, yeah.
Like what I was saying about the voice thing, I usually find when I'm giving too much away, my body steps in and says, no. it's not worth it.
Oh, mine did that too. I just ignored it.
Oh, okay.
You have the wisdom to listen to your own body.
Yeah. No, I had one of my first gigs as a musician was at a Renaissance fair in southern Wisconsin.
Okay. I was not expecting that.
Yeah, I had to scrape I always made a living as a musician, but it got really rough at times. So I got to go around and play with the hurdy-gurdy guy and the dulcimer guy and the flute guy, and I had a pretty good gig. Mm-hmm. And then I had to wear like a medieval surf outfit. Okay. And then at one point they decided I had too much freedom, and they gave me a little Post-it note that said "Privy line, 2 o'clock." Yeah. So my job was to play for people waiting in line to use the porta potty.
Buddy. Yeah. Because you were too fabulous, they had to just shut down your shine, right?
They caught me not wearing my floppy hat, and I think that kind of set it off. They were like, we gotta tighten the grip on this guy.
Yeah. I lived in probably like first 30 years of my life were that.
Yeah.
And just kind of serve, that concept of service in some instruments. I think sometimes as well, some instruments pertain to service a bit more.
Yeah.
But particularly mine, because it can pad out and become like backing, or it can, become part of someone else's kind of genre. Like the classic soul voice is so combinable.
Yeah.
It's the most combinable thing. You can put it with rock to country to dance music, and so it becomes so co-optable. But it's
your songwriting chops that allow you to step forward.
Thank heavens for that. It's a real gift. But
because you were saying you're writing for people.
Yeah, somewhat. I kind of got into the pop side a little while. Yeah, and then I decided to step away and focus on myself a bit, and I wrote a song and took it into Dan, and he was like, we can build like something around this, and that's the beginning of how the record happened. Yeah. Cool.
Well, you should all check out the record. It's beautiful, and an instant classic. So let's do our final song. You learned the harmonies to this new song of mine. It's called Cracking Codes. Mm-hmm. I'm going to play violin on this. I forgot. Okay. But thank you so much for making music with me.
It's been fun.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for having me, man.
This is part of our job. Sometimes this feels more like work when we're doing this stuff, but if you can do stuff like this and try to make it feel less like work,
exactly.
Turn it around. We all have to promote our records, but let's have fun with it,
Exactly that. This is not work for me. This is pure joy. So awesome. Thanks for having me.
All right. Thank you, everybody. And thanks to the people at home for listening. 3, 4.
You just have to look into my eyes. You don't need a secret code. No need to play it, be inspired. And no, I may speak to you in tongues. We don't need Rosetta Stones. Know how this song is sung, and then what I say is true, yeah, true, true, oh yeah. what you said. True, yeah, true. 'Cause what I say is
Thank you. Yola. Charley. Hampton. Abe Rounds. Thank you, everybody. Thanks for tuning in to The Great Room. See you next time.